always gonna be some real sad parts in life that's hard to accept. Lucky for my team, they're learning that wishing something was different won't make it so. They're learning the difference between things they can change and things they can't. That's one of life's toughest lessons. Take it from someone who's been there. Take it from me.
What's up, guys? This is Mr. Former here. Yep, that's right. I'm back. And now today I want to talk about a little bit about your own happiness. Okay, but first of all, I want to talk about the things that you can't change. Okay, now you can't change people's behavior. You can't change people's thought process. You can't change what people believe. You can't change what people don't believe. You can't change the way society functions, okay? You can't change this gynocentric system. You can't change the court system. None of this stuff you can change. But here's something that you can change in the midst of all of this bullcrap that's going on. You can change your own inner happiness. Now, what I mean by that is that you can make yourself happy. You can make yourself content in this crazy world. Okay? Now, this is why I'm always saying, just live here in this world. Don't be a part of it. Okay? Now, you got to remember, keep going through your life and live your life for you. Okay? And do what makes you happy. If you're involved in something, be it a business, be it school, with your friends, your family, anything that you're involved with, and that's not making you happy, cut it off because you don't need it. Don't do things that don't make you happy. Don't do things that don't fulfill you. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what it's all about. This is why you hear all these people out here talking about, I hear people that are suffering from depression. People that are stressed out, worried about all these kinds of things is because they don't have inner happiness. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how to be content within themselves. They don't know how to be happy with who they are and what they're about. They're too busy worrying about validation from the outside world. Okay, and they don't have self-validation. Okay, and the only way you're going to achieve happiness within or validation from within is you have to do that for you. You know what I'm saying? You can't look to people on the outside to make you happy. Okay, now doing drugs is not going to do it. Drinking is not going to do it. Having sex with a whole bunch of women is not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's not. But just continue to do the things that you enjoy for yourself. Don't worry about all this bullshit that's going on. Because it don't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about who's arguing with this, who's saying that, who's doing all these things, man. You know what I mean? Forget all that. It's not even important. Yeah, we got to sit here and watch TV, and we got to listen to all these podcasts and all this crap that's going on YouTube, the censorship, all of this crap, man, which is just, it's all disheartening. But are you going to let that take away from your own happiness? Huh? You're going to keep suffering and worrying and stressing about all these trivial things? Gotta remember, you have your own life to live, yo. Get off of this internet and deal with reality. Your reality. You know what I'm saying? And what makes you happy. Because none of this stuff is important. Only thing that's important is your own happiness. Okay? Don't let these people out here dishearten you to the point where everything that you thought you enjoyed is hurting you. And if you're doing something and it's hurting you, or it's making you feel some kind of way, negative, stop doing it. Immediately. Just throw it down and stop doing it. If it's a job that you don't like, okay? If you're working a job and you're not happy there and they're not treating you right, it may seem hard to just walk away from it, but do it. Walk away. Get out of it. Because it's not making you happy. All it's going to happen is you're going to be busting your ass working a job that you don't like, okay? And you're going to end up having health problems because in your blood pressure is going to start rising. You're going to start feeling depressed and all this bullshit. And it's going to feel like a fucking rock is on your back because you want to keep staying there at a job that doesn't give a hell about you. And it's not making you happy. Do what makes you happy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I understand you got bills and all that, but sometimes you gotta, we're men, and men take risks. Sometimes you gotta take a risk for the greater good and just walk away from that shit. And I'm telling you, you're gonna feel better. I had to do that. I did that about 6-7 years ago. I was working a job, I was supporting my children, I was doing everything I had to do, but it wasn't for me. And then when I finally had the strength to walk away from it, I tell you, it was the best thing that I ever did. You know, and I kick myself like, man, I should have walked away from that job years ago. Because now I'm so much happier. You know, I ended up working less and making more money. You know what I'm saying? And it was the best thing I ever did. And now I have a internal happiness that I can't describe. You know? And it's the same thing with being in relationships and being married. Ever since I walked away from all that stuff, ever since I started my mgtow journey, I have an inner happiness and an inner clarity that I just cannot describe, man. You know what I'm saying? I just can't describe. I mean, I try to make these videos and share it with you guys, but there's no way you're going to know unless you experience it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And once you get that red pill rage out of the way, you're going to have an internal happiness that you just like, wow. You know, I feel so much better. I feel so much better now that I'm with myself, now that I don't have to seek anybody else's validation for my own happiness. All I need is me. You know what I'm saying? And it's fantastic. It's love. I can't describe it. But yeah, and for like, you know, you guys out there who are still in relationships, okay? Now you might love this woman. You might think you love this woman, okay? And you're going through all these hardships in the relationships and you're trying to make it work with this woman. You're trying, you're doing everything you can to make it work, okay? But it's just not happening. Now, let me tell you something. Once you decide to get the strength up and get out of that situation, watch how you feel. You're going to feel so much better. It's going to be crazy. And then once you get into that, it's going to be hard for you to go back to that shit. I'm telling you, ever again. It's going to be hard for you to get back into that relationship situation because you're going to know the difference between being in a relationship and then not being in a relationship. Okay? You're going to go back and think about all the problems and all the stress and all the things that was going on when you was in that relationship, and then you're going to look at what's going on with you now that you're not in this relationship. Okay? The freedom you have, the choice you have. Okay? You're actually doing your hobbies again. Okay? Some of you guys out there like to play sports. Some of you guys out there like to go hunting. Some of you guys out there like to ride your dirt bikes and your ATVs, you know, through a trail. A lot of guys like to go fishing. Okay? A lot of guys like to go to the gun range. But when you're in these relationships, you got to plan for 6 months down the road for you to do these things that you enjoy. Because your woman won't allow you to do these things, okay, without her. Because if you're out at the gun range, she's calling you and texting you like, where you at? When you coming home? You been at the gun range with Tommy for like 3 hours. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Or you get the other phone call. You and your boys are out fishing. It's getting dark. It's getting dark now. You guys still out there fishing? I mean, I don't think you're really fishing. Video chat so I can see where you are. Video chat so I can see the lake. Show me the guys in the boat. Okay, I don't think you guys are really fishing. You know what I mean? You got to deal with that shit. You know, you're out hunting. Okay, when you get back to the car, you got like, I don't know, 50 million freaking missed calls and all kinds of text messages talking about, don't bring your ass back to this house because I know you ain't hunting. You ain't answering my phone calls. I know you're out messing with some bitch. You can't be hunting. I know you took the guns. I saw you put your rifles in the car. I saw you and your friends, you know, with the safety gear on, get in the van. But I don't think you guys are really hunting, or else you would have been able to answer my call. When it's like, you know, I can't have my cell phone on when I'm hunting because you're going to alert the goddamn animal I'm trying to shoot. Okay? But they're not trying to hear that. To them, they just think you're out there bullshitting and messing with some other woman. But that's when you're in a relationship, still trying to do the things that you enjoy for yourself. Okay? But when you're not in a relationship, you don't have a girlfriend and you don't have a wife, you can do all these things freely and you can enjoy it. You see, because when you're in a relationship and you have a girlfriend or a wife or whatever, and you try to do the things that you enjoy, they make sure to ruin the experience of you trying to have a good time with what you like to do. Some of you guys are music artists. Some of you guys like to make beats and go to the studio and rap. What happens? Your girlfriend's always calling. She's always texting while you're trying to record. She might even show up to the studio to make sure that you're really at the studio. Okay? And you can't even enjoy what you're doing. You can't even concentrate on what you're doing. You know? And this is what I'm talking about. And this is why you have to worry about your own internal happiness. Okay? Because that's what makes you happy. That's what, you know, that's what's going to really make you happy. Okay? Now, I know I've been stuttering over the damn video like a, you know, but you guys got to forgive me. But I'm just trying to get the point across that, just trying to get this point across to you guys, man. Your own happiness is what truly, truly matters. Now, this is Mr. Former, and please take my advice. Have a good one.